Welcome Escape Plans by Global Escapes. We know constantly changing travel rules and restrictions can be frustrating and overwhelming. We provide stress-free travel planning. Having a vacation date on your calendar will be a game changer for you. It seems like someone flipped a switch about 6 weeks ago, and all of a sudden everybody is ready to go. Bags packed, standing at the door, ready to just run out the door. It's definitely, I'm sure, related to the vaccine rollout in the US. I know that more and more people, as they get vaccinated, are feeling more confident about getting out in the world. And the continued updates from the CDC and our economy and everything kind of slowly moving back towards normal. The travel industry is ramping up, and it's kind of gone from 0 to 100 miles an hour. If any of you follow us on Facebook, you may have seen my post this week about the fact that the recovery phase is definitely creating some frustration. We've had people reaching out to us that are, trying to plan things on their own, and they're hitting some hurdles. And I just want to let everybody know that it is going to take some flexibility and some patience from everyone to kind of understand that the world has literally been on a global pause, and we're not going to be able to get back to exactly where we were before COVID without a period of recovery, I guess I should say. So we're just really asking that people be patient, be flexible. And most importantly, the thing I cannot stress enough is planning ahead. Please, please, please plan ahead. Now is not the time to be spontaneous. Spontaneity is exciting and great, but right now you really need to think about planning ahead. And when I say plan ahead, I'm referring to 6 to 12 months down the road or longer, because many things are already booked up this summer. And it has to do with the fact that there's limited options right now, folks. I mean, until the rest of the world really reopens, everybody's kind of stuck with the places that are open. And when I say stuck with, these are not bad places. These are great options. It's just that you've got more people taking advantage of those limited options. So just keep that in mind. That's kind of my little disclaimer as we get started this morning. Couple just quick housekeeping notes. Everybody listening in is in listen only mode. If you have any questions, please use the chat feature. We've already posted our phone number and email address. If you have any questions, please reach out to us at Global Escapes. We are definitely your resource to kind of help you through this recovery phase. If you want to schedule a complimentary session with one of our advisors, reach out to us, let us know, and we can definitely help with that. So today we welcome back Julie Robinson from Sandals and Beaches Resorts. Julie's been with Sandals and Beaches since June of 2019. How ironic, Julie, that you would jump into this industry right before this mass chaos. But she's our business development manager for North Georgia. And next week, Julie will be taking a team of advisors on an educational trip to Beaches Resort in Turks and Caicos. And Christine from our office will be traveling with her. And our goal here, both for Global Escapes and for Beaches, is we want to show you guys, our audience, our customers, up close and personal, how Sandals and Beaches are handling their guests at their resorts, the steps they're taking to make sure you have a safe and enjoyable vacation. And I can tell you from my experience traveling with Julie to the Sandals Resort in Jamaica, the South Coast Jamaica, back in January, it was amazing. It was amazing, the care and the quality and the attention to detail that this company is really taking to make sure that not only are their employees safe, but all of their guests are safe and having a good time and really able to relax and unwind and try to kind of refresh from this most insane past 12 months. So Julie, thank you so much for joining us today. You have been You've been a busy bee the last few months since I saw you in Jamaica. Where have you been and what have you been up to?
Oh my goodness. It has been so fun to get down there to the resorts and experience it so we could share with everyone what's happening at our resorts. That's the best way to do it. And I'm excited about next week and taking Christine with me. You guys know I love and adore you guys. So it'll be wonderful to share with your Global Escapes followers what's happening at our resorts as we go live from the resort multiple times next week and even have a special event for you guys, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. So was in Jamaica with you in January, then went back to Jamaica in March, was at Turks actually on a family vacation. They let us go down with our family and experience it as a client would experience it, which was my first time getting to do that with my family. Beaches, Turks and Caicos over Easter weekend, which was wonderful. And then I was back in Jamaica 2 weeks ago. I head to Turks next week and then back to Turks again the 1st of June. So we are trying to get as much out there for you all who are watching and be as transparent as we can is exactly what's happening at the resorts if you're traveling now or thinking about traveling, as Tiffany mentioned, with us all the way through 2023. So your clients could go ahead and pre-plan their spring break 22, summer 22, Christmas 22 into 23. We're booking you guys all the way in through 23 at all of our Sandals and Beaches resorts.
Yes, and it's, you know, the thing that we have to remind our clients almost weekly is that, you know, it's not just our community that's ready to go on vacation. You know, we're competing with a lot of the people across the northern states of the United States, and even I know that Canada is still kind of locked down, but these people are planning further in advance because as soon as things open up, they're ready to go. And they want to have that experience to look forward to. So there are dates that a lot of destinations and companies that we work with around the world that are already sold out or limited or whatever. And I know that sounds crazy, but this is just where we are. So it is really important to plan ahead. I'm glad you guys have things opened up through 2023. That's great. So,
plus we had all the COVID reschedules, you know, all the people that last year had to reschedule to this year. That's what really has us so full at our resorts occupancy wise, is all those reschedules that had to happen, you know?
Right. So tell me a little bit about, you know, are there capacity limitations at the resorts? How are they handling the occupancy levels at the resorts? Is it a staggered approach? Is it we're just going to keep it at this % occupancy for this number of months, or like what's the plan there with Sandals and Beaches?
My understanding is everything is available. Most of the resorts are running anywhere from in the 50s day to day up to, I was at Montego Bay 2 weeks ago, we were at 87%. But remember, at Sandals resorts and beaches, we're on a lot of land, so you never feel crowded. And the way we handle our check-in procedures and our restaurants are being handled with reservations keeps that spacing in place to keep the guests safe. You know, they're asking them to wear masks indoors in like a coffee shop or the spa, the gift shop, those type indoor confined spaces. But as far as the restaurants, once you walk up and you're seated at your table, you can remove your mask. No one's wearing a mask outside. No one's wearing a mask out by the pool unless they choose to, except for staff. We are all, and myself included, when I'm on resort, I will have a mask on as well. So keeping the guests safe on the resort is our priority.
Well, and I noticed that when we were at the property in January, you know, even the people working around doing landscaping and things like that on the property were all wearing their mask. And, you know, it's for their safety, but of course, for the safety of the guests as well. They want, and I think everybody needs to understand that as things do begin to reopen and we all kind of begin to move around and get back out there, you know, there's just everybody's kind of handling things a little bit differently. And in the hospitality industry, you know, obviously you want to make sure that you're servicing your guests, but you know, everybody's threshold for risk tolerance is different. And so I
Right.
think we're all having to kind of move back into this space very cautiously so that we can respect and everyone's feelings on, you know, their safety and what that looks like for them. So it is something that I think most resorts are requiring, you know, that you wear your mask indoors, or when you're around other people, when you go to get a
Mhm.
drink at the bar, or things like that. So I think that's all very normal. You guys have done a really good job, I think, of sharing through social media the experiences that are going on. I know, you know, I follow Adam Stewart, and the things, you know, the company is still very much moving forward. And I think
Yes.
that's great to see. That's inspiring to me as a business owner, to see other companies continuing to focus really almost kind of beyond COVID. Like, we're going to get through this period of time, and then what's next after that. So that's been exciting to see.
We have new resorts opening. So
Yes.
we're coming out of this pandemic and bringing some more to the brand, which we have 18 resorts right now between Sandals and Beaches. And we've got 2 new Sandals coming on board at the end of the year, is the target date. So stay tuned, get with Global Escapes, and they can get you more information on those. We'll have Curacao, which will be a new island for us, which we're very excited about. And then Sandals Dunn's River, which, if you've been following Sandals for a lot of years, I know 25 years ago when we honeymooned at Sandals, we went to Dunn's River on one of our day trips back in the day. So we're bringing it back, and we're updating and getting it sandalized, and we're excited to have that one come on board. Hopefully target dates the end of the year as well for that one. We have a new Beaches coming on, and Beaches St. Vincent, which will be another new island that we're looking at for spring of 22-ish is what we're hearing. And then another property in Jamaica, there'll be another Beaches so that we have purchased that we're working on as well. So we are growing out of the pandemic,
Right.
because our clients, our customers want more space. They want more rooms. They enjoy this all-inclusive vacation, whether it's with their friends, their family, their husband, their loved one. That's what they're asking for, and we're gonna serve them.
Well, and I think it's great that you guys are branching out to new destinations. It's a great brand. I think once people get to know the brand, they appreciate the consistency from destination to destination in both the quality and service. And that's something that's very comforting for people when they travel outside of the U.S., to be able to kind of know what they're going to, you know, their expectations are met. They know what to expect, and they know that they're going to get quality. So that's exciting stuff coming down the pipe. Well, all right, let's talk for a minute about Turks and Caicos. It
Yes.
is one of the destinations that is currently open. Of course, you do have to have a negative COVID test to enter Turks and Caicos, to avoid any kind of quarantine. And then obviously, as you return to the US, you're going to have a negative COVID test within 3 days of returning to the United States. So what's going on at that property? From what I have seen over the last couple of weeks, that property looks pretty full through the summer. Are there dates that are still available during the summer? Do you know?
There's going to be some pockets that your guests, if they want some last minute travel, can reach out to you and see if they can find the perfect spot in there. It may not be the most ideal as far as, like you say, their top pick as far as a room, or, you know, they really want to be an Italian, but they may end up in Caribbean or French because that's all that's left. You know, it's going to depend on their dates and stuff as well. But it's 758 rooms at that resort. It's 5 different villages, 12 miles of white sand beach, everything all included. So when you're checking into this resort with your loved one or your family, and it's families all ages. I was there with my 23-year-old twin boys, and they had a great time at Beaches, Turks and Caicos. So, you know, all your dining's included, sushi, steak, lobster, if lobster's in season, jerk shack, the coffee shop. We have Cafe de Paris, which, you know, from being at South Coast, how fabulous that is. You can go get all your frappuccinos and cappuccinos, and all your pastries, you know, are all included as well. So this resort is kind of like a mega resort. It's got tons of acreage, so you can spread out. There's pools that are more quiet. There's pools that are more active. There's a water park with large slides that even I went down, lazy river, surf simulator. There's so much to do at Beaches, Turks and Caicos. And it's our #1 resort in the Caribbean. So it is definitely worth going to. But if you can't get into Beaches Turks, I would do Beaches Negril or Beaches Ocho Rios as well. And have been and stayed at both of those resorts. I was at Beaches Negril 2 weeks ago. Fabulous resort, beautiful white sand beach, very calm. 185 rooms. So very different than the mega resort with Turks. If you want to go somewhere with a family on a smaller scale, boutique style, Beaches Negril is a great resort on 20 acres. So plenty of land directly on the beach in Negril. And then Beaches Ocho Rios is 222 rooms and suites over on the Ocho Rios side of the island, with a lot of excursions and stuff to do there. So
well, and the Beaches resort you mentioned in Negril, I've been to that resort many times. It is on a great stretch of beach, and the water is very, very calm on that side of the island. So, this is part of what we do at Global Escapes is we really try to match our guests and our clients with the perfect experience that they're looking for. And as you can see, even within the Beaches brand, there are a variety of options, both for people who want a bigger property with more activity and more things going on, versus a smaller property that is not going to be quite as many people and quite as busy. But like Julie said, regardless of the property, all of these destinations have plenty of room for social distancing and to find a spot for you and your loved one or your family to kind of hunker down and enjoy a great vacation. So
I'm glad you said social distancing, because that was terminology that you and I learned when we were down there in January, because in the US they say physical distancing. They want us to stay apart. Down there, they're very social. They don't, they want us to socialize. They don't like the term social distancing in the Caribbean because they want people to feel comfortable on their vacation and have a worry-free vacation, so
right.
Yes.
I know. And again, that's one of the things that I loved getting to talk with some of the people at the resort that, they were so excited to see people coming and having a good time. And, it just makes a difference when you work in an industry where you get excited to see other people enjoy their vacations and really go somewhere and explore and meet new people and experience new things. That's the reason that any of us are in the travel industry, because we really enjoy that part of it and we enjoy the planning and the logistics and all that kind of go into that. But so let's talk a little bit about this event that you're going to be doing with Christine. Christine, if you want to jump in, I'd like for you to kind of chime in a little bit here, because you're the lucky one that gets to go next week and see the property firsthand. So you guys talk for a few minutes about what you're going to be doing while you're there and about this event that Christine is going to be doing live from the resort next week.
Yes. So Christine, you jumping back with me?
Yes.
All right. So we are live on Tuesday at 3:30. We will be on GoToWebinar. So everybody needs to be sure and register on the link. Christine, I think, has dropped it in there on the Facebook. We'll probably do some Facebook shout outs and everything, but because we want to know that you're on, we need you guys to jump over to the GoToWebinar just so that we can record you are on in case you fall in love with what we have to offer and you decide you want to go ahead and schedule a vacation for 21, 22, or 23. We want to be sure we can show you guys we're on. So we'll keep those links out there, but Christine and I are going to be showcasing the resort for 3 days while we're there. We're going to start doing some social media posts and some lives and anything that she feels like you guys want to see, we'll be showcasing throughout. Again, very transparent for how things are happening at the resort. If she wants to interview the dive masters at the water sports and talk to them about the water sport inclusions, that is going to be something she can do while she's there. Maybe go to weddings and talk to our destination wedding specialist and she can showcase that for you guys. So let her know what you want to hear about. And that's what we will accomplish while we're there. We'll do some room tours and post some videos of the water park and the coffee shops and just experience it, what's going on.
Mhm. That's one of the things I'm actually really excited to show everybody, Julie, because beaches, I feel like, is very unique in what they include when it comes to water sports.
Yeah.
They are kind of ahead of the pack in many ways because they offer things that are included that most resorts do not. So.
Well, we have the snorkelings included. We have glass bottom boats. We have the banana boats that the kids can jump on and be pulled around out there in that beautiful Grace Bay. They have Hobie cats and paddle boarding, and instruction is included. So if I want to take the instructor out with me so that I don't end up on Grand Turk instead of on my side, I can do that. And that's included. It doesn't cost extra. And our divers, if they're already a certified diver with Patty or Dan, they can dive twice a day, every day while they're at the resort included. If you're not a diver, you want to be on this webinar with us, because that's one of the perks that we're going to be able to offer to you is a $250 Discover Scuba course. So just as a gift for being on, and I know 3:30 may be carpool time. It might be going to baseball practice. Who knows what you're doing at 3:30, but you can download the app on your phone. And as long as you pop on, even if it's just for a couple minutes to join us live, I'll be able to show that you were on, and we'll send out the recording to you after the fact as well.
Right. And there will be rewards.
Yes. Yes. Spa credits, catamaran cruises, all kinds of things, candlelight dinners. We got some great stuff. And Sandals and Beaches just announced our Mother's Day special today. I saw it pop up. I haven't had a chance to look at the details, but I think it's got a wonderful massage based added in that one. So we'll get you guys information. I just got it in an email as I was popping onto this with you guys. So we'll get that posted as well.
So Julie, I want to touch on one thing that Tiffany sort of talked about earlier in the webinar about booking early. Mm-hmm. And I would love for you to give people your take on how early is too early, because just on a personal note, like my sister and her husband are really loving the idea of Beaches Turks, and they're wanting to plan a trip, and they're considering going ahead and booking well over a year in advance, which I think is a great idea, because we're seeing a trend that looks like we're going to have a rebound in travel for the next 2 to 3 years. And people are going to need to book well in advance. So do you guys have a recommended window for booking for people? Like, do you say you really need to try to get your plans in place 8 to 12 months ahead, more than a year ahead? Are you seeing a huge influx of business that people should be aware of?
Absolutely. And both sides of that. A normal year with us, you're going to be planning a beaches trip 12 months out anyway, with Beaches, Turks and Caicos, especially because of the demand for that resort. Remember, we serve the world. So we get people that come from the UK, that come from Canada, from the US, all over to our resorts. And a lot of those places have been shut down. So as Tiffany said, once those open up, we have even more demand, coming into us. So with a beaches vacation, we definitely encourage you to book it, 8, 10, 12 months out. You can book 2 years out. You could put it on a payment plan. You could do your small deposit and make no payments on it, and then just pay it 45 days prior to travel is your final payment, or you can make payments along the way. So whatever works good for you. We're seeing a huge demand for multi-generational travel at Beaches. And that's because it's the resort for everyone. And grandma and grandpa haven't seen their grandchildren. So they're taking their adult children and their grandchildren, and they want to go somewhere that there's something to do for everyone. We take newborns in our kids camp program. Newborn, we're one of the few resorts that'll take a newborn. All of our nannies are certified. Again, newborn up. There's activities for all age groups. So you don't have the 3-year-old doing an activity with a 12-year-old. There's different activities. You'll get to experience that next week for the kids. And the grandparents love it because they can just sit back and relax, and everybody's happy because there's something to do for everyone. We're also seeing the immediate demand. So with Sandals and Beaches, final payment is due at 45 days out. So some people are getting to that 45-day mark and moving it. They're pushing it out. Maybe for some reason they're not ready to quite travel. So we're also seeing some last minute availability at that 45-day mark. So if it looks like we're sold out and you have just your heart set that you've got to go and you want to go this summer, definitely check back with you guys, because there might be something that pops up, last minute from somebody that decided to cancel or move, or their job won't let them travel out of the country, or whatever, the reason is. And we do allow that, they can do that move. So
great.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, I'm super excited for next week to see the property, to spend some time with you, and of course to share it with everybody else. So Julie, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. I know all of our viewers will be thankful as well, because this is one of those resorts that we get requests for all the time, because beaches is a great product. And like you say, it's good for everybody. So thank you very much for your time today, for taking the time to chat with us. We will be back in a couple weeks on May 13th. We'll be talking to some of our friends in the UK. As you say, they've been traveling for a while. So there is light on the horizon for European travel. And we're going to be talking with one of our suppliers there, Sincerely Paul, who we love dearly. So I'm excited about that. Everybody be sure to tune in. Do stay on top of our website to stay up to date on our webinars, register for any that you think are interesting, and be sure to follow us on social media as well. We're going to try our best to keep you on top of all the updates with travel that we see around the world. So do follow us. We'll do our best to keep you in the know. And remember, everybody, now is the time to plan ahead. We love you all. We want to help you. Help us help you plan ahead, and do start thinking now about 2022. I know it's not been our habit to this point. We tend to plan 6 to 12 months in advance, but we are seeing a massive rebound in travel, and it is making it difficult to help clients in the short term. So please go ahead and start thinking toward next year and getting your plans in place. We are here and we're ready to help you. And we always want to be your trusted resource to get you back on the road and exploring the world and doing all the things that you love. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Julie. Thank you.